Oh! Oh, hello.
Okay. So about options. I paused the, or I stopped recording, I made a sandwich, and I made a green shake. It's a kale shake, and I just spilled some on my pants. And I was thinking about how deep should I go into options for this video?
Yeah, I was just hoping I would get some options.
And I decided that I am only going to talk about strategies because that's what I'm relating to with the practices that I do. And ignore this. I'll talk about this later, this little square that I put up. But options don't matter. Even if you totally understand them, they don't matter unless you have done your research on the stock and have a prediction of whether it's going to go up, stay the same, or go down. None of that matters unless you've done your research first, your quantitative, your technical analysis, and considered your intuition. You have to do that first no matter what. Options are simply just giving you more ways to make money with the stocks.
I'm not gonna kid you. It won't be easy.
Oh.
So I'm going to talk about some strategies, and I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm just going to talk about the ones that I use, but pretty much the ones that I use, there's like, what are they, 4, 5 that I pretty much use, or 4? I don't know. We'll see how many I get through. I'm going to talk about all the ones that I use, and they're pretty much probably going to be the only ones that you use. Okay? But the first things first, let's find a scenario where we'd probably use this, okay? Without really any research, let's assume that I think Tesla is gonna go down, okay? Current price, 189 per share, okay? So let's say that I think that Tesla's gonna go down. But real quick, before I go and look into the listings for options, I wanna kinda look at like, how far up do I think the price could possibly go? And I'm gonna say 190. But I think it's gonna go lower than 190, okay? I think it's gonna continue to go down, but I don't think it's gonna go any higher than 190. So, going into options, I like to trade options on Robinhood. It's super convenient. If you trade them on there, I'll show you exactly how to do it right here. So, Tesla. Go to trade Tesla options. And then in this specific case, what I would be doing, going to short Tesla, is I would be creating what's called a call credit spread. So these are options, and options are separate from shares. Okay, when you're trading options, you're trading contracts that allow you to do things with shares, depending on what the contract is. So the value of these contracts goes up and down through supply and demand, just like shares do. But they are not shares. So making that distinction on early, I think might really help you guys. If it helps to watch a video beforehand, like an in-depth video explaining options, I think that would help out a lot. But if you want to listen to this first and then go watch the video and then maybe come back, you might get a lot of understanding out of options. So just to like get kind of primed, if you like watch this first and you get your mind like primed for the general ideas of what options can do and how to use them, that might help out a lot. Whereas like a lot of people, and including me, like I studied through like books and through watching tutorials and like stuff like that on YouTube, and it's just a lot of long lectures, and I was just like, okay, but how do you use this? Why would I use this? It's like I just couldn't connect in my head any of the concepts that I was learning to like actual like implementation, and it took the process like I think a lot longer. So anyways, so for example, if I'm trying to go short, in this case with Tesla, and I said what did I say? I said that I don't think it's going to go any higher than 190. I'm gonna be a little bit safer and say it's probably not gonna go above 192 because that's pretty close to the current price, 189. I was a little, I don't know. I'm just gonna say this. I mean, it's not based on anything, but after I've done all my research and all that, I would have a solid number that I would relate to. So first thing I would do to create a call credit spread, and that's the type of strategy contract, options trading contract strategy that I would choose for a case like this. I would sell a call option for 192.5. And then as you see here, as the price, I like this little visual right here that Robinhood does because it shows you pretty clearly, like as the price goes down, you make money for a maximum of 257. And that is from the premium. So when you're selling, real quick, when you're selling contracts, you're assuming some risk. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to, if I go any further, I'm going to be explaining options, and that's for a guide. So you're assuming some risk, and so you get some additional, you get a premium, you get money. There's a lot of analogies to insurance. Like, for example, when you're paying for health insurance, even if you don't get sick 1 month, you're still going to be paying that for that 1 month. There's a premium you pay on insurance just so that it's there. That can be analogous to what's going on here. You don't have to pay every month, but it's a one-time payment per contract. And I don't know if I already said this, but one contract is equal to doing something, depending on what the contract is, with 100 shares of that company. So just to get that out of the way. So if I'm selling a call option, I want the price to be going down, because as the price goes down, I get my full premium, all the risk that I assumed. I'm getting all the money from that risk. If you watch a guide, you'll totally understand what that means. But I want to protect myself. This isn't a call credit spread, like I said that I was gonna do. This is just a covered call. This is just me just selling a call. As you see here, the max loss is unlimited. And that's scary. And Robinhood in a lot of situations won't let you buy or sell contracts that could potentially end up in you losing all your money. Now, you can still lose money, but they have some safeguards. And if you have any questions about that, definitely call up Robinhood and talk to them. They have an amazing options team, 24/7. I've talked to them a few times. They're very knowledgeable, very nice, and patient, and they're cool. I would call them if you have any questions about anything you see. If you're starting to trade options on Robinhood or anything like that, they'll help you out. They're very knowledgeable. So what I do for a little bit of protection, because imagine if the price does go up. What if I'm wrong and I think the price is going to go down and I buy this option and then the price goes up? Well, then I'm screwed. So something you can do to protect yourself is to buy a call just above that price that you thought that it wasn't going to go above. So you buy it. Now the max loss is 169. Okay. Now the max profit has also gone down because now you're paying somebody to assume some risk. You're paying someone that premium that I was just talking about. Whereas in this situation, when you were selling a call option, you were the one assuming risk. So now you're paying someone, and you're still making more from this contract, assuming that the price goes where you want it to go, where you think it's going to go during, like, when you're doing your homework with the chart. You should still come out ahead, and that's the max profit of $81. This is just with one contract. Of course, it all depends on how much are you trading. It depends on the size of your account and all that. So this is just with one contract. So 100 shares. So this, now it says it right here, call credit spread. So this is a way to go short. This is the safe way to go short, because if things go south or they go wrong and the price goes up, instead of constantly losing money and your contract becoming increasingly invaluable, now you have like a way to kind of protect yourself and really limit your potential losses. Ideally, though, you want to be watching it if it's not on this short of a time frame. You can set the time frames longer. When they do expire, options do expire, and when they expire, different things can happen depending on what contracts that you buy and sell. So typically most people close out the contract. What I mean by that is if they bought an option, they're usually selling it, or if they sold one, then they're buying the contract out. So universally, you could just say closing the contract, because a lot of times things get complicated. You can buy one and sell a contract at the same time. A lot of things you can do, a lot of strategies. So if it's not going so well, if you see like if the chart is showing now like it's looking like it's actually going to go up instead, like if there's like a couple more candles and it's looking like a reversal, then you're like, oh, then you might want to get out. You might want to sell. You might want to close your contract, I mean. So this is one example of something that I would do if I think that short term, the next 3 days, is going to keep going south. If I think, I mean, this is on a 4-hour chart, so I would probably want to consider something a little bit longer, like maybe like a little more than 2 weeks out, or maybe like 3 weeks out, something like that. And then the prices and stuff are going to change depending on that. So definitely keep that in mind. Keep this price, this expiration date in mind, and use it according to whatever like time frame you're looking at. Because like having a contract that expires in 3 days, this 4-hour chart is not helping me very much. It's not the best for it, I should say. So definitely keep that in mind. That's one strategy, and that's one way to go short. So another strategy, though, let's say that, what did I see? Something I saw. Let's say that I think that SPY, an ETF. If you don't know what an ETF is, real quick, it's a combination of, there's a lot of different types of ETFs, but an ETF is a combination of a bunch of different companies, you could basically say. And a lot of people recommend buying into ETFs if you're a new trader, because it's a one-stop shop to diversify your stock portfolio. So there's a lot of different ETFs, and you can kind of look at them and be like, yeah, I want to be a little bit, there's riskier ones that have like usually like more technology stocks in them, or there's like safer ones that have like I don't know, more industrial stocks, or more like you know, they stick to things like Walmart and gas and stuff like that. I don't know. You can look into those, but SPY is a very popular one. So is QQQ. I have that somewhere else. I have that somewhere in here in this list. But let's say SPY right now. Let's say that I think that SPY is about to go up. Let's say for some reason, actually this isn't very clear. I'm not going to use that. Let's say here, this is good. Let's say I think that American Express, let's say that I think it's going down, but I think because this was a resistance or a support right here, let's say that I think that it's going to hit the support again and it's actually going to bounce up. Let's say I think that's the case. So let me go to American Express. Just like close these out because I'm paranoid. American Express, trade options. Okay, I need to go back to my chart and look at, what was this? So this was like 155 basically. Okay, so 155 is, I don't think it's gonna go any lower than 155. So I look for 155 strike price. That's what that means. Like that's the price that I'm looking at, that I'm interested in. And if I don't think it's going to go any lower than that, what I want to do is kind of the opposite of what I just showed you with the call credit spread. And so it's going to be a put credit spread. So a put, I am going to sell a put at 155. And if you look at this, it shows you that as the price goes up, I get the full amount of my premium. So I make $53 max profit if it stays above that. But if it goes below 155, I start losing that premium, and at 154.47, it's totally gone. And then after that point, I start losing money.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Oh my god!
So at this point is the break even, and it shows it right here too, 154.47. That's when you've lost all your premium. And then after that point, as it keeps going down, you're assuming loss. And Robinhood wouldn't let you put in this trade if you don't have $15,447 in your account. This little tip. Let's say that you see this, and so like in this account, I don't have $15,000 in this account, right? But let's say that I still want to do this. Like I'm just like, what? But I know that like this, or I feel strongly that this is about to go up. It's not going to go down. I think this is a great opportunity for this contract. I want to do this. Well, one way to do that, and to kind of be a little bit more safer about things, is to turn this, selling this put contract and turn it into a put credit spread. And so how I do that is I buy a put, a leg down.
Spread your legs just a little wider if you need it.
And then boom, put credit spread. It says it right here, okay? And what that does is this, if the price goes down to 152.5, it's not my problem anymore. It's someone else's problem, all right? And so that reduces the max loss to $220 in this case. Okay, and this is for one contract, okay? And so, yes, the max profit has gone down because it's eaten into my other premium. So I'm paying someone to assume risk, just as in this leg, originally before, when I was just selling a put, I was assuming risk. So someone was paying me. There was a value to the options contract. And now I'm paying someone to take on some of that risk, 35 cents per share. And so that's eating into my total profits. So that's why that's happening. And don't feel like, if you're looking at this and you're like, what? The max you can make is $30, but you can lose $220? I don't want to take that trade. Before you think that, think about this. If you're looking at this chart and you've done this and you're an experienced trader and it's 10 years from today, and you've been doing this and you've seen this 1,000 times and you only trade American Express, you know the personality inside and out. You got a journal full of American Express notes. You know American Express inside and out, and you've seen this before, and you would bet your left ovary and nut or whatever you got down there that this is not gonna go any lower than 155, then this $30 seems pretty secure. All I'm saying is that don't stress over the risk versus reward ratios too much, okay? Money is money. If you are not uncertain that you are gonna make this $30, go for it. And this is for one contract. If you wanted to beef this up, let's say it's like, okay, yeah, I don't wanna make just $30. I'm gonna do like 100 contracts here. Then boom, $300. Yes, you are risking. You could potentially lose $2,200. It's not a done deal. If things start going south, if this starts moving down and you start looking at the chart and you're like, oh God, I'm seeing a lot of signals that it's gonna keep downtrending, then close the trade. Close out your options contract. You don't have to keep losing money. You can close it out, cut your losses, okay? You don't have to lose $2,200. You could lose a couple $100 or something, and then you could be like, oh, yeah, and you recheck and you're like, oh, I read it wrong, my bad. Yeah, I'm gonna cut my losses. Then you cut your losses. But if things are going the way that you thought they were, then that's easy money, baby. Like, that's easy $300. $300 is $300. So this is like, spreads are usually something that like smaller accounts use. So if you got like 10, 20,000 or less, in your account, spreads are a great way to go because you can have a large amount of leverage, like these contracts having their own independent values. They like the value increase that you see on options is way higher than the percentage increase on the shares. So like American Express as a share, the share price can go up like 3%. It wouldn't be too crazy that like an option around the money, which meaning like if you had an option around where the money is at, where the share price is currently at, that's an expression that you hear is like at the money, around the money, near the money. It's not uncommon that the value of those options around it moving are going up by way more than 3%, like 30%, 50%, 70%. Yes, very common. And that's why a lot of people trade options, because there's a higher amount of leverage. There's more money to be made. That being said, there's more money to be lost. And here it clearly shows what those like potentials are. Okay. So that's two. I wanted to talk about a riskier one that I do. Going back to puts, or my bad, just the put, just selling the put. So if we were to just sell the put, and it's the same situation, I think that the price is going to go up, right? Like, let's look back at the chart. I think that it's not going to go any lower than this. And in fact, I think once it hits that, if it hits that, it's going to trend up, okay? And let's say that I like American Express. I don't think there's going to be any surprises. It's a big company. I think it's a little predictable. So all those things considered, I might just sell a put and not have that extra, not have it be a spread and not have that extra layer of security. So what does that do? That increases my max profit because I'm not paying for the other, let me move it back down to just one contract. Whoops. Sell one put right here. Or what did I say? 155, my bad. So remember, if this was a call put credit spread, the max profit was $30. But if it's just a cash secured put or selling a put, it's 53. So you don't have to be paying someone to protect you down here, to assume the risk for you if the price goes below or at 152.5 per share. So like that's a pretty big difference between $30 and $53. And you know, as you buy more contracts, as the contract number goes up, so does the profit, you know? I mean, obviously it's pretty scary when you see like this huge max loss. This max loss isn't like poof, your money's gone. Specifically speaking, when we are talking about a cash secured put, or when selling puts, if it is the end of the day on March 31st, and you are still holding on to this contract, and the price of the share is at 155 or lower, you will be forced to exercise that contract. And what that means is that you will be forced to buy, if I buy like one contract right here, that's 100 shares, you'll be forced to buy those 100 shares. Okay? So, and you can also exercise early, but I don't know. That's just something you can do. But so that's what it's saying. And that's how they got this number of 15,447. That's how much it would cost right now to buy 100 shares of American Express. So if you're looking at this and you're pretty damn sure that it's not going to go any lower than this, and you also wouldn't mind owning that stock, owning those shares of stock, if you wouldn't mind that, and you want more gains than if you were gonna do a put credit spread, and you can afford 15,000. Like if you have this much cash money in your balance, ideally you should have a lot more than that. You don't want to just be putting all your eggs in one basket, but let's say you have an account size of 40K, 50K, 60K or something like that, and this is one of your trades, and you wouldn't mind owning 100 shares of American Express for 15,000, and you think that the price is going to go up, I think this would be a good strategy for you. Because let's say you buy it, and let's say you buy this contract, or you buy this contract that is selling a put, and the price does what you think it's going to do, and it does just go straight up. Then you just collect this $50 premium, call it a day. You made some change, you made some cash. Great, fantastic. And you were right. More importantly, you were right. Your prediction was correct, and that makes you a better trader. Now, let's say in the event that you were wrong, that the price went straight down. And before you know it, it's been 3 days, and it's March 31st. And the SEC is banging at your door, and they're like, listen here, little Timmy, you bought an options contract, or you're selling a put contract, and you're going to be required to buy 100 shares of American Express at 159 or 155 per share. And it's costing this much. Because this is taking out the premium. So it's going to cost you this much. You got to buy them right now. And so then they do it automatically. It's yoinked out. They take the money out. They put in the shares. The next day you got it. And so that's that. But then you're not going to be too distressed. You're not going to be too distressed. Is distressed an adverb? Whatever. Anyways, you're not going to be stressed out if you were fine with having those stocks anyways, because let's say like it does go down, but then like if you think like if you really thought this was the lowest it was going to be and it just dipped down just a little bit lower, then there might be a good, you might have an idea that like, oh well, then I think it's still going to go up. It may have just went down a little bit lower than my calculations assumed. So that's fine. Now you own shares. It's not like you just lost all your money. So that's another great strategy that I think is like one of the safer ones. Is that true for the reverse with calls? No, you just straight up lose your money. It's gone. Straight up gone. This, if you buy a call and you don't think that, and the price goes, if like the price goes down, what did I do?
Do you know how to read?
I get by, all right?
No. This, so for, I don't know if you think that, I just picked this one randomly, but this right here, this max loss, there's no, like, you don't get some shares back, or you don't get exchanged when it's exercised. It's just, and it didn't go in your favor on the chart. It's lost. It just, you just lose that money. That money is just poof, it's gone. So, these prices are all, dependent on supply and demand, and there's a lot of shopping around you want to do when you're buying and selling options. But my point is, I don't buy calls. I don't sell calls. I will do the call credit spreads all day. That's fine, because the losses are reduced and they're mitigated and I'm protected and all that. Same thing with the put credit spreads. I love spreads. Spreads are great and safe and all that. It's fantastic. I have a great time. And then selling puts, I just showed you that before. Those are great too. In a good situation, it's all situational, but in a good situation, I love those. Final thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm finally going to explain and Tesla, what this little square is all about is, let's say that you're in a situation where you think, you know, I don't think the price is going to go up, and I also don't think the price is going to go down. I think it's going to stay the same. You can still make money that way. In fact, you can make loads. Let's look at it.
Are you watching this, TV?
Let me just show you. You know what? Let me just show you. Instead of just rambling, I'm just going to show you because I think that's the best way. Let me look at those things again. Hold on. This little square, let me tighten it up a little bit. Let's say that I think that the price is going to stay between these two lines for the next 3 days, and I think I have that. Yeah, March 31st is when this ends right here, and that just happens to be the expiration date that is next. Okay. Of course, you could set it later, but whatever. But this is just an example, so whatever. But let's say for whatever reason, I've done my calculations, I've done all my research and everything, and I think this is going to happen. Okay, so I think it's not going to go above 192, and I don't think it's going to go below 180. Let's just pick something. 186. Sure, whatever. Yeah. So, 192, 192, 186. 192. It's close enough. And then I'm gonna sell the lower end, and it was 186, I think, right? And so I'll go a little bit wider. I don't know, should I go a little higher or should I go a little bit like I'll go, you know what, I'll go wider. I have a wider spread. So right here you can see, like, this is the window of money. This is where you make money right here. However, you better be right, because if you're wrong, unlimited losses. Just kidding. Robinhood won't let you do that. But what you can do, unless you had unlimited money, but what you can do is you can do what you did with the call credit spreads and the put credit spreads. You're basically making both of those at the same time. So what I've done is I've sold a call, it's up here, and I've sold a put, it's right here. Now I'm gonna buy a put right underneath, and I'm gonna buy a call right above, and skaboosh, short iron condor. Now you have an actual max loss, $99. If it goes outside this range, you lose $99 within here. Right here, it's eating into your premiums. That's where you're losing a little bit of money. And then right here, you've lost a little bit of your premiums going on either direction. But in right here, you're just straight money, dude. You're just golden, okay? You're just making the maximum amount of money. If this price starts moving out or something like that, you're gonna want to be thinking about closing out all these options, okay? And that's easy. You just click on the option, and then you like, just like you're buying a stock or buying an option or selling an option, you just click on it and you select close, and it'll show you like how much you're gonna have to pay in the event that you're losing money to get out of it. Okay, and so you want to consider that too. It's not like once you close it, it's like not like a free pass. Like, no, you're probably, if it's not doing so well and you're trying to close out of it, you're probably going to be paying some money to get out of it. But if you are not like at this area and these areas yet, then it's not going to be your max loss. So when you're looking at this, something that I really like about like the way they set this up is that it clearly shows you this is your max loss. According to the the next stage, you can set a limit price, and that'll change a little bit, like a tiny bit, but whatever you set it at, you're gonna see your max loss before you actually go through with putting the trade in. At the same time, you see your max profit as well. So excuse me, that's a strategy to make money when the price isn't going up or down really, when it's like stagnant. And so that's like, I use that strategy sometimes. It doesn't always happen. Yes, you can try to use it when like a trend is happening. Like let's say you think there's going to be like a trend starting right here, and somehow you can predict. You have an amazing technical analysis foresight. Use your third eye. You go see a shrink. You get your palm read, and you figure out that it's going to land right here. And you put a short iron condor right here. You are going to make loads of money, tons of money. I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend doing that because you're probably going to get wrong. And then you're going to blast up my comments saying, Jude, you told me to do short iron condors. I did it wrong because I didn't listen to you. And now I'm mad at you. And you owe me $83. And I'm going to be like, I don't even know who you are. And I didn't tell you to do that. So those are my strategies for options. Those are the ones that I use. There are others, and you can go learn about them, but those are the ones that you're probably going to use the most often if you're trading options. And those are the ones that I'm going to be referring to in the future when I am doing the practice sessions, and I might say like, you know what, I don't think I would buy here. I don't think I'd go long. I think I'd actually go short, and I think I'd probably do a call credit spread right here. Now you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. Or if it's staying straight, going stagnant, I might be like, yeah, I might go iron condor here. Now you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. So fantastic. Everybody's great. If you have any questions, you probably need to watch a guide on options first and then come back and rewatch this. And then you'll probably be super psyched to watch the next trading practice videos. But if you still have questions or anything unanswered from watching whatever guide that you watch, I can try my best, and I will work with you till my fingers have run down to the bone because of all the typing. I will try my best to help you understand whatever it is that's confusing you in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope I know that this will help in the future. I'm sorry I wasn't super thorough, but I think that's the best way to go about things. So I will see you in the next Trading Together practice videos. See you in the next one.
On the next episode, Jude day trades. Find out if he gets massive gains or skips leg day.